Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Nice to have you on with us, and we appreciate that. Appreciate your support. And we sure love having you guys join us when we go live. So who's number one? Brahim this morning from Portland, Oregon. Mike from Norland. 1 and 2, and Andrea. You guys, unreal how fast you are. Get in right at the top. Okay, good to have you on, guys. We appreciate it. We'll say hello to a few friends as they get their notifications. Leela from Berner, good morning. Sue, Bolton, and Rosa, Modial, and Rose, how are you? Janice, good morning. Carol, West Virginia. Yvonne, Petawawa, good morning. Nancy, Gore's Landing. And I can't see it. Arlene, how are you? And Heather. Kevin, Oshawa. Eric, Bangkok. How are you, Eric? Eric's on a coffee tour. Carol, Cecilia. Madeleine, Kippawa, Quebec. Betty Lynn from Brantford, good morning. Karen. And Carrie, Nebraska. And Rebecca, Calendar. Donna, Park Hill. Nick from our staff. And Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Rhoda, good morning. Labrador. Yanao. And Jerry, good morning. Sharon, Niagara Falls, New York. Okay. Francis, Dr. Martin, Gertie. Oh, no, who's that? Denise, Oakville. Guys, I miss a few because they get into my cloud there. Rita and David, Ridgeway, good morning. Shelley, good morning. Linda, oh, those Lindas. New Brunswick. Catherine, Parksville, British Columbia. Barbara, Thetford. Wendy, excuse me. Catherine. Bonnie, Little Britain. Bonnie. Hey, how are you guys? Adeline. Sue, how are you? Donna, Belle Ewert. Louise, nice to have you on. Vince, good morning to ya. And Marianne, hi from London. Dan, good morning to ya. Francis from Vaughan. Maryland, New Brunswick. And see, that one ran up in the crowds. I couldn't see it. Lisa, don't ask me why, guys. I have no idea. Robin and Jeanette, couple of more guys and we'll get going. See, I can't. Whose birthday is it today? I couldn't see it. Sandy, Maria, Ottawa, Janice, Arjanka. It's Janka, sorry. And somebody's saying thank you for your teachings. I can't see it. Patricia. I don't know what, guys. I gotta figure this out someday when I can't see everybody. Elaine, how are you? Okay, let's get going because I'm missing too many people. Cheryl, say hello anyways, and when I'll go and try and say hello to you when I see it. Okay, let's get back. We got a few question and answers that we didn't finish up on Friday. Okay, Tina, what causes swelling and pain on the foot, and sometimes swelling goes partially up into the leg? Well, look, I mean swelling, and I mean, Tina, could be a lot of things. Could be an injury, could be arthritis, could be tendons, could be ligaments. Pain usually wouldn't be circulation. Circulation would be, maybe, it's possible too. Poor circulation in one foot could cause you pain and swelling to go, but usually that's edema and not swelling. They're different. We talked about that the other day. See, Fran is asking, is there a Martin Clinic supplement that helps with the swelling of the ankles and feet? Well, the best one that I know of, because it elevates your nitric oxide, is Navital. Okay? And Fran is talking more, like when she talks about swelling of ankles and feet, that's edema. And Tina is talking about swelling and pain, that's inflammation. Okay? Like edema ordinarily will not give you pain. It will give you swelling. Okay? Whenever you have pain, you have inflammation. Always. There's no exceptions to it. Pain, what gives you the pain is inflammation. Edema, different. And that can be because of poor circulation. It can be because of the heat and dehydrated. It usually comes from the kidney levels. Some medications cause edema. And I mean, there's a lot of things that can cause edema. Okay, so the key is to differentiate the two, the inflammation and edema. Okay, rarely do they ever go together. Lise, I have had a real sore shoulder. No fun. And they told me I have calcium deposits. So be very careful, Lise, that you don't get what we call a frozen shoulder. Because your body, when it lays down calcium, okay, we talked about, remember, wasn't that long ago, maybe a week or we talk about where have all the calcium gone? Okay? And we spent a couple of programs on calcium. And today we got a lot more calcium than we need, and it's in the wrong places. It's in tendons, it's in the bloodstream, it's in soft tissues, and calcium belongs in your bones. But when you get calcium deposits in a shoulder, it's the body is trying to stop you from moving the shoulder. The problem with that is you can get frozen shoulder, and that ain't no fun. So I recommend you, Lise, one of the things I used to do with my patients that had calcium deposits, do what we call passive exercise. So take, just visualize that. Take a broom handle, a yardstick, a golf club, something very, very light. Lise, lie on your back in bed and keep that stick, ruler, golf club close to your bed. Because usually when you get calcium deposits, it hurts worse at night, especially in the shoulder. And the reason is because shoulders are avascular. Hips are avascular. What does that mean? They have very little blood supply in there. So when you get a calcium deposit, it's very hard to get rid of it. And surgery usually sometimes it's worse with surgery. Okay? That's why they don't like to do it. Because if they were to be honest about it, it usually doesn't work. Okay? Now, I like passive exercises. What do I mean by that? Not heavy. Lying flat on your back, you take with both hands, hold on to that golf club or whatever, and bring them right over your head. Okay? 10 or 15 times. Light weight. And even though your shoulder is sore, your good arm will do most of the work. You do that 15, 20 times, 3 or 4 times a day. I used to get patients too putting a pulley up into the ceiling. You know, if you're handy. I'm not, but my husband can do that for me, or the man would do it. And I'd get them to put a rope and above their head and do a pulley. Okay? And what a difference that would make. Okay? What a difference that would make. So those are the two exercises. One with a very light golf club or anything like that, do it in bed. Lie flat on your back, bring it over your head as far as you can go, 15, 20 times. If you're trouble sleeping with a sore shoulder, that usually gives you instant relief and you can go back to bed. Okay? Anywho, and in terms of supplements, okay, you want vitamin K2, vitamin D, vitamin K2 helps to take that calcium out of the shoulder joint. And curcumin, our inflammation formula. Ooh, I get uptight about it when I talk about it. Okay. Lise, thanks for the question. Linda, is there anything to protect the esophagus, a certain spray for silent reflux? Well, if you're getting acid, a silent one, and I like either aloe vera juice, okay, very good for that. And you can drink, excuse me, I got something in my esophagus this morning. Okay. I like, I like aloe vera. I used to use that in the office all the time, give patients aloe vera juice. And just to soothe, aloe vera soothes any kind of burn, right? And it's actually good for you. I like it, the aloe vera. Anything else for the, like at the end of the day, though, just understand, Linda, that you don't have enough acid. You don't have enough acid. And that's why your body is making more of it. Your proton pumps in your stomach are trying to compensate. And there you get either acid reflux or even a silent acid reflux. Okay, the only thing to differentiate is to make sure that phlegm is not coming from your sinuses because, okay, that's a good question, Linda. Thank you. Caroline, is it true that being a vegetarian gives you a higher risk of a heart attack? Like Andrew Saul. Who's Andrew Saul? Okay, I don't know. Maybe I should have Googled it. Well, look, I think you guys know me well enough. Okay, and I'm very consistent about this. Okay. And I see it every day just about on our private Facebook group because they think, okay, they think that Dr. Martin doesn't like vegetables. Okay? That's not true. Okay? Excuse me. Well, I got phlegm in my throat this morning. I think, Linda, you got me thinking about anyway. Now, back to the question, okay? Is it true that being a vegetarian gives you a higher risk of a heart attack? Well, I mean, perhaps. I'm not big, and you guys know this. I think every vegetarian, every vegan are making a big, big, big mistake. It's not what your body was designed for. Does that mean you can't have vegetables? I didn't say that, and I would never say that. People are asking me because, they don't understand the reset to some extent, right? They're new to us. And they don't understand it, so they think that Dr. Martin hates vegetables and fruit. I don't. What I always say is don't live on them. You're not meant to live on salad. You're not meant to live on broccoli. You're not meant to live on fruits. Fruits are good, but you're not meant to live on them. They don't have the nutritional profile of meat, eggs, and cheese. And again, I'm going to take out a copy of my book. Where do I have it? I have my book here somewhere. Here it is. Okay. And I talk about in Sun, Steak, and Steel. Okay. I talk about this. And when you get to the steak, Sun, Steak, that's chapter 2. I talk about in chapter 2 5 C's. Okay? I want to go there. Okay? Sun, Steak, and Steel. So I'm going to talk to you about the 5 C's. Okay? And it is on page, it starts, hold on a minute. Excuse me. Here it is. On page 24. So if you haven't got my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, get it. Get it, guys. It's still available. Okay? Number 1 big seller when it came out. Okay? Now, I'm reading from page 24 of my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel. The nutritional profile of steak. And you will not find these in the plant kingdom. Now listen to this. Creatine. Okay? Creatine is very good for your memory, your muscles. Okay? Choline. You find that in eggs. You find it in meat. You find it in cheese. Okay? Especially good for your brain and especially good for your heart. Carnosine. Okay? This is an anti-aging amino acid. Okay? Look at what I have. Vegetarians have high glycation. Glycation means glycation is it takes away from the elasticity of the blood vessels. Okay? Vegetarians have high glycation because they consume too much fructose and not enough carnosine. Carnosine is important for your to limit your glycation, hardening, like a scarring. Okay. Carnitine is really important for your heart. CoQ10. Now, we all know CoQ10. Ubiquinol. CoQ10. It is really good. You have battery, because CoQ10, your battery packs don't work as well. So, at the end of the day, Caroline, at the end of the day, I would say that statement is probably right. And the world out there would tell you the opposite of that. The opposite of that. Because they would tell you that steak, because of saturated fat, because of cholesterol, and limit your steak, and limit your eggs, because eggs are full of cholesterol, and that's not good for your heart. They were wrong about that. 100% wrong. It's the opposite of what cardiologists told us. The opposite of it. Now, I'm not holding my breath till they change their mind. I won't hold my breath. The world out there has a narrative. Saturated fat is bad. Cholesterol is the boogeyman. Don't eat too much of it. It's acidic. Steak is acidic. It will cause colon cancer. No, it doesn't. It's the opposite of that. It's the opposite of that. And your body wasn't designed to live on vegetables. Do you hear me? It just wasn't designed. You're not a cow. You don't have 4 stomachs. You don't have a long colon. It's long, but it's not as long as a cow's or a sheep or animals that are meant to be vegetarians. But you're not. And I proved that by your acidity in your stomach. It's the way you're built. You're made for steak. Okay? And I realize some vegetarians eat eggs, and good for them. Thank God they do that. Okay? But they're wrong. They've been told wrong. And we had a discussion the other day. Let me see. I'll get to her in a minute here. I'll go right to the top because it was the first question. Maria, my daughter has a master's in nutrition. Yesterday, she advised me that since I'm eating meat, cheese, and eggs, there's 100% guarantee that I will end up with colon cancer. Now, we went over this on Friday. But you see the thinking out there? And this is a girl that's got a master's degree in nutrition. Is she a dummy? No. She's very smart, but she's been duped. Don't be duped. Because she's been duped. I got taught by the same people. The same type of gurus. And I had to undo it. It's the narrative. It's the way it is. You say a lie long enough and people believe it. It becomes part of their DNA. You talk to almost every nutritionist, every one of them, and they'll tell you, they'll take out, you show them, okay? What's better? Broccoli, a salad, or steak? And you know what they'll tell you? The broccoli and salad. And that's based on their training. They'll tell you that's better for you. Why? Well, it's alkaline. Okay? It's alkaline. It doesn't rot in your gut. Sure it does. You got a better chance of vegetables rotting in your gut than steak will rot in your gut. Steak doesn't rot in your gut. And they believe that too, okay? Here's another reason they believe it. I'll give you a third one. Fiber. Do you think Dr. Kellogg's was a dummy? He changed the whole world. You need fiber. And he was trying to sell his cereals. But vegetables, fruit, they give you fiber. And if I don't get fiber, Dr. Martin, I'm going to die. No. So that's the way they think. Saturated fat. Cholesterol is found in the animal kingdom. Saturated fat is found in the animal kingdom. Fat is bad. Fat makes you fat. Fat clogs your arteries. Cholesterol clogs your arteries. That's how they're taught. And if you happen to be a medical student, you only get about an hour of nutrition. That's what they teach you. Okay? Eggs, meat, and cheese, bad. Fruits and vegetables, better. And grains. They love their grains. You need grains. No, you don't. No, you don't. And so nutrition in medical school, in universities, to the dietitians, to the master's degree in nutrition, are taught the opposite of what is true. Okay? And all of these schools, by the way, are sponsored by Big Food. It's the way it is. And their raison d'etre is a statement they'll make in moderation. Even sugar, for some people, they put above steak. I mean, it's almost crazy. It's almost insanity. But that's their training. And then you come on this program, and like many of you say, Dr. Martin, I like this in a way, because I see it every day. Dr. Martin, I'm confused. Okay? I don't mean to confuse you, but I'm confused. My family, my doctor, my dietitian, my naturopath, my whatever is telling me one thing, and you're telling me something different. What's true? I'm confused. Well, guys, I just don't put out statements. I try and back them up. And look, guys, God gave you a brain. Okay? God gave you a brain. Use it. You got to make up your mind. And I know in a lot of ways here this morning, I'm preaching to the choir. And I appreciate that. I appreciate my followers. But I'm not asking you to go by blind faith. I don't do that. Okay? I'm not asking you that. I want you to think, what is better? Nutritional profile of a steak or a vegetable of any kind? Or a fruit of any kind? What has more vitamins, more minerals, more protein, more iron, more whatever? It's not even close. It's not. You got it? It's not close. And I'm not expecting, my goal has never been to change the world. I don't do that. I've been around a long time, guys. I had a radio show for 20 years. Okay? And I did radio and television way before my radio show. I did a lot of it because I wrote books. And when you write books, you're on TV, you're on the radio. I used to preach this. And it made it controversial because people always believe those lies. And I said, well, you're making a big mistake. Mistake. Because you're not eating steak. And I doubled down and I tripled down and I quadrupled down. I am absolutely convinced. Because when I read about the amino acid profile in steak, in eggs, in dairy, cheese, okay? Your body was designed for it. You were made for it. And you were never, ever, ever made to eat just vegetables. You're not. Your stomach acidity tells me all I need to know. You were given a gallbladder for a reason. You got a short colon for a reason. You have a highly acidic stomach for a reason. And we think we're smarter than God. That's what people do. That's what people do. So, you see where I come from? And that's why, Dr. Martin, I'm confused. Okay? We got one the other day. Dr. Martin, I'm confused. I don't know about this flaxseed. Okay? I don't know about flaxseed because everybody and their dog is telling me flaxseed will elevate your estrogen. You know what, guys? I don't know what to tell you other than they don't know what they're talking about. They're mistaken. They think of a phytoestrogen. Oh, that's elevating my estrogen. That'll give you cancer. No, it won't. It actually blocks extra estrogen because it's very unique seed. It has lignans 100-fold compared to any other seed or nut. That's why I like them. That's why I use them with great results in my practice all the time. That's why I love DIM, because it dims out your estrogen. And, I know. But I try And guys, I try to be consistent with you so that you get the opposite side. You think that I'm one of the Lone Rangers out there. I know that. And by the way, okay, I'm not a carnivore. I'm not. I'm an omnivore. But what I want you to emphasize is carnivore. Emphasize it. But I'm not a carnivore, because when I get that label, people think, well, I hate fruits and vegetables. I don't hate them. Fruit is God's candies. Enjoy. They're candies. But don't live on them. And we live in a different world today. We have 93% of the population has insulin resistance. 93%. So most people, they got to be careful. They can't live on almost no sugars. You know, oh, Dr. Martin, what about maple syrup? Well, if you're in that 93%, like, I know it's natural. I know it's got nutrients in there. It's got B vitamins and whatever. But you got to be careful because you're in that 93%, you see. What about honey? Unpasteurized. Yeah, but if you're in that 93%, just be careful. I'm not saying you can never have it. I'm just telling you, be careful. Because my practice in the last, 20 years of my practice days was based on insulin and insulin resistance. And I was so laser focused on fixing that. And thus the reset. So don't be confused, guys. You're only confused to the extent that you don't know who to trust. Okay? And I get that part. I really do. But I just tell you, I try and back up everything I say. There's a reason to my thinking. There's a reason. I was in practice. I had to get results. If someone had insulin resistance, I had to fix it. I had to give them a plan to fix it. If their hormonal, their profile, they were in a metabolic storm and everything was upside down, I had to get results. And you guys know me. I always started with food. Always started with food. Food is today, there's no neutral foods really. There really isn't. Foods are either good for you or they're bad for you. Okay? There's not a lot in the middle there of neutral. I don't like keto foods. I don't. They're processed. I don't like them. I've told you that. I'm very consistent about that. Because people, I'm not going to eat any more carbs the rest of my life. Okay, some people can do that. The Inuits sure did it. No problem. But don't go to the crappy foods that, they're low carb, therefore they're good for me. No, that doesn't mean they're good for you. Eggs, meat, and cheese are good for you. Some fruits and some vegetables. Okay? When you build the pyramid, a food pyramid, that's the truth. You have at the bottom eggs, meat, and cheese. That's the wide part of the pyramid. And as you go up, at the top, very minute, you have fruits and vegetables. Okay? You can have vegetables. You can have them every day if you want. Not during the reset, but that's to get rid of insulin resistance. And it works. It's temporary. And you want to have vegetables, have some vegetables. You want to have a little bit of fruit, have some berries. It's blueberry season here in Northern Ontario. We get the best blueberries in the world right here. Wild blueberries are the best. Do I like them? I love them. I don't live on them, but I like them. Okay? I like them. They're good for you. They're powerful antioxidant. I like blueberries, but I don't live on them. You can put them in Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. They're good for you. Not because of fiber either. Okay. So guys, you know where I come from. Okay, we got a good week coming. We got some studies. We got answers to questions. We have some real fun stuff going along. If you haven't got the book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, why not? Why not? Okay. Send your questions in, guys. Okay? Send your questions in. info@martinclinic.com. Okay, you got questions? We want to answer them. Okay, guys, we love you dearly and sincerely. And we'll talk to you soon.